when I was a 23 fellow, I had a dream that I will become a pilot. Okay? I will become a pilot.
What stops the entire world from being a pilot is the cost of its flight training, eh? Let's talk about financial management in aviation training in this video. Stay tuned.
So now that's the VOR. When it's in the up and the hold, which is what?
So hey guys, how's it going? And in this video, we are going to talk about financial management in aviation training. I know there are a lot of videos on this topic on YouTube, but I really found it very important to make a video on this with the help of some financial and technical terms, which will help you get some fruitful decision whether to get into the aviation training or not. Alright. So to start your aviation training, the very first step is to do your financial management, right? It's not planning your flight school, it's not planning about your training process and all. But the first step is definitely to plan how much you can spend on the flight training. Then decide upon the best opportunities for the flight training for you. Alright. So in this video, I will help you guys to do your financial management with a very presentable presentation, which I'll also attach in the description. You can download it, and I would highly recommend please to save this video and show this video to your parents, because costly training like aviation requires a lot of money to put in. Alright, so this video will help your parents also understand the financial aspects in aviation training, and you guys can decide upon something and get the best opportunities for you within that budget. And without wasting more time, let's get into our presentation. And I assure you that at the end of the presentation, you will have a very detailed idea about how to plan your finance in aviation training. And at the end of the video, I assure you, I will help you planning your own budget, planning your own aviation training expenditure, and also we'll talk about the loan procedures, how much loan you should take and how much loan you can take and all. Alright, so let's jump into the presentation. Here we go. So this presentation is prepared in collaboration with Airline Academy. So do consider downloading the app of Airline Academy and browse through their courses. I will attach the link in my description. So the agenda of this video, we are going to learn about the cost of flight training till the cockpit or the airline cockpit. The second thing we'll talk about is the very demanded topic, is that loan for flight training, procedures, management and risks. Alright. Okay. Let's talk about the numbers now, right? What actually flight training costs. Okay, let's start from a conventional pathway. I'm not really going into conventional pathway and the cadet pathway in this video. And okay. So if you are doing a commercial pilot license in India, average cost per hour is going to be somewhere around 16,000 to 20,000. So right. So as you know, in India you have to fly for 200 hours, including a multi-engine. So I have also calculated the total cost for you, which is going to cost you approximately 40 lakhs to 50 lakhs. All right. So the range of flight training in India only for the commercial pilot license is going to be 40 to 50 lakhs. There are some schools who charge a bit less, alright, less than the price that I've mentioned, but average cost you can consider from 40 to 50. Okay, let's talk about CPL training abroad. A lot of people these days, as you know, they prefer going abroad for CPL. Average cost per hour might be a bit less than that of India, which is about 12,000 to 17,000 Indian currency. But you do have to fly for 250 hours instead of 200 hours. You have to bear your travel expenses, you have to pay your accommodation, then you have to come back to India to convert your license to DGC license. All those costs will be extra. So including everything, I would take the cost to be 45 lakhs to 55 lakhs, and also this depends on the currency exchange. That means that if the US dollar prices go high, then this prices might increase. Alright, so these are not in our hands. So if the US dollar prices are going high, definitely this price will reflect that. And then the type rating. So these days, there are very less vacancies for non-type rated pilots. All CPL holders have to bear their own type rating cost. So type rating average cost will be somewhere in between 12 lakhs to 25 lakhs. Again, this depends on the US dollar prices and the currency exchange prices of any countries you're going to. Alright, and 12 to 25 is a very big range I have talked about. So there is a very huge gap in the lowest and the higher range because it depends on the type of aircraft you are going to train in. There are some smaller aircrafts. If you get rated in that, it is going to cost you less. And if you get trained in a bigger aircraft, it definitely depends on the type of aircraft which you are training in. So the prices will differ, and also depends on which country are you choosing your TRTO. TRTO is your type rating training organization. Now let's talk about cadet programs. Alright, I do not want to talk a lot about cadet programs because I know I talk a lot about cadet programs in all of my videos, and this video I'll try to keep it short. Cadet program average cost is going to be from 1 crore to 1.2. Some cadet program costs less than 1 crore, that is 85 to 90 lakhs, but cadet programs are not open yet. It's going to open soon, but we do not know the revised prices of the cadet program. I'm definitely sure that the prices are going to increase, so I have put on a higher side. Take it on an average cost of 1 crore to 1.2 crores. Now we have talked about the big numbers in aviation training. Now also let's talk about the numbers that we are going to get paid when we become a pilot. Okay, this salary is not the same in all of the airline, but won't differ a lot. These numbers or this salary pay I have picked up from one of the airline, one of the very major airline. I won't name that, but I think you might guess. Okay, so let's start from the junior first officer salary. Monthly pay without any deductions or taxes is going to be 1,10,000 approximately. Then talking about the first officer salary will be 2,61,000 without any deductions. Alright, so after 6 to 9 months, your salary is going to be more than double of it, which is pretty good. Hey, senior first officer salary 3,75,000, captain salary approximately 6 lakhs, and let's not talk about the examiner salary. Not all pilots get into this post, so this is the highest designation in for pilots in an airline whose salary is about 8 lakhs per month. Alright. Okay, now the most important part, education loan. So the education loan interest are about 9.2 to 10.5% per annum. Right? This interest rates, I'm talking about very recent ones, because of the increased repo rate, the interests have been revised and are pretty high these days. So this is a very important aspect we should consider while taking an education loan. Alright, so I will demonstrate some examples of EMI. Alright, so how much EMI are we going to pay for how much loan? Will be demonstrating that very short. Okay, most important question, how much loan should you take? You should consider 3 factors. Alright, so there's not that if you're doing a 1 crore of course you should take 1 crore of loan and just put everything in your flight training and become a pilot. Alright, so this is not how financial management works. If you are planning to do that, then I don't think this video is very useful for you. This video is really useful if you want to wisely manage finances. Alright, and particularly this section, discuss it with your parents. Okay, number 1, EMI amount should be 20 to 30% of your gross salary. I'm talking about the gross salary of a pilot. Alright, so this amount should be within 20 to 30% of the pilot's gross salary, excluding all the deductions, right? So you take out the deductions from your salary, then 20 to 30% of that you should give it to your EMI amount. Alright, So let's see what's our salary. We won't take junior first officer salary for this calculation because JFO salary is for a very less duration. Let's consider first officer salary for these calculations. Alright, we get about 2,61,000 of salary per month, and for a very safe side, let's take 61,000 as a deductions, including taxes, rest all the deductions if you have got any insurances and all. Now we are left with a 2 lakhs of salary, taking out all the deductions. 20 to 30% of the salary, that is 40,000 to 60,000 Indian currency. All right, so that is 40,000 to 60,000 rupees. So your EMI amount should be in between 40,000 to 60,000 rupees. Later on, we'll go and see how much loan we can take so that our EMI will be within this limit. Second point, EMI should not be more than 40% of your family income. If by any chance you do not get your job just after you complete your CPL, let's say you have to wait for a very long time after you complete your CPL, then you have to pay the EMI through your family income. All right, so your EMI should not be more than 40% of your family income. For example, let's say your family income, including everything, is 1.5 lakhs. All right, that is 1,50,000 is your family income. So 40% of that, which equivalents to 60,000 rupees. So your EMI should not exceed 60,000 rupees. All right. So the first point was the limit was from 40,000 to 60,000. Now the limit is 60,000. All right. Our EMI should not increase 60,000. Till now we have got that. Next thing is that collateral should be 25 to 50% of the total valuation of the family assets. If your family have got assets like any property, any house, or any fixed deposits, so to take an education loan, you should have a collateral. That means you are taking the loan against that collateral. The property or the fixed deposit or whatever asset you're putting as a collateral, the valuation of that collateral should not be more than 25 to 50% of your total assets. For example, the total valuation of your assets is 1.2 crores. Let's say you have got two houses, each of 60 lakhs. Alright, so the total valuation is of 1.2 crores. Then the amount you're putting in for your collateral should not exceed 60 lakhs. Alright, your total valuation is 1.2 crores. So maximum 50% of that you can put it as a collateral. So these are the 3 points that we should consider before deciding how much loan we should take. Alright, first point is it should not be more than 20 to 30% of our salary, which is our parent salary. We calculated a rough figure of 40 to 60,000. Second point is that it should not be more than 40% of our family's income. So if our family's income is 1.5 lakhs, so EMI amount should be 60,000 at max. Then the last thing, the collateral we put should be in between 25 to 50% of our total valuation of our assets. Alright. So why I've mentioned 25 to 50%? Why there's a big gap in percentage for the collateral? If you're going via conventional pathway, as there is no guarantee of your job, you should keep this percentage as low as possible. Alright. Whereas in cadet program, the assurity of getting a job after completion of your training is much more. So in this case, you can consider keeping this percentage as high as 50%, not more than. Alright. Okay, now let's go and watch a demonstration of how much loan should we take so that our EMI stays within our limit. Alright. Okay, let's consider three things. Loan amount. So loan amount is how much loan are we going to take. Okay. Second thing is tenure. Within how many years are we going to repay the loan back? And third thing is the interest rate. Alright, as I told you, the interest rate currently is somewhere between 9.2 to 10.5. Let's consider 9.4, 9.5 to be pretty below average interest rate. As I know, you all will hunt for lowest interest rates when you search for loans. Okay, let's put the tenure as 15 years because almost all the banks do not give a tenure more than that. So maximum for education loan tenure is 15 years. So let's consider the maximum 15 years, and interest rates, let's put it 9.5. All right, sounds pretty good. Now let's change the loan amount, which will change our EMIs. All right, so we had an EMI cap of 60,000. Let's put the amount as 70 lakhs. 74 lakhs gives 77,000 EMI, pretty too much. 60 lakhs of loan gives 63,000 EMI. You can consider 3,000 is not a big amount. So yeah, if with our calculations, this number might increase. For you guys, this number are not the same for everyone. So you can take these numbers according to you and your family income and your total property assets and calculate this. All right. So the example that I took, with that we can take a maximum loan of 60 lakhs. All right, which will give us an EMI of 63,000. We had a cap of 60,000, but 63,000 is not a very high amount. We can manage that. All right. One more point in our financial management: savings required to become a pilot. All right. So it's not that 100% of loan. We got 70 lakhs of loan, put in all the amount in our flight training and go for it. It never happens that way. We should have some savings before we start our flight training. All right. So if you are going abroad, have at least 10 lakhs of extra fund from the training amount as an emergency fund. All right. So that fund is not a part of your training. That is for an emergency. You are going abroad very far away from your country. All right. So there might be any kind of emergency, not only medical ones, but any legal ones. Anything can happen abroad. So be prepared for the worst. You should have at least 10 lakhs of Indian currency extra apart from the training. All right. In cadet programs, you need to have 30% of the total amount as your savings. This is not a mandate. Is that a lot of countries do look into it for the visa process, because a lot of if you're taking 100% of loan amount for your flight training, that is not approved by visas for a lot of countries, because for some instance, let's say your loan is stuck, and in that case you need to pay the next installment of the school by yourself. All right, so that amount you should have with you. Some countries are very strict about this rule, so it's better to have 30% of savings of your total training cost. And if you're taking a loan, savings of 2 years of EMI amount should be there in your bank account, right? So after completion of your training, your EMI amount will be charged monthly, right? Which is going to be pretty high. We saw that 70,000 is a very high number. We should have a certain amount in our bank account that, for instance, let's say we have to wait a long time for getting a job after our training. So you need to pay that amount from your family's income or your family savings. All right. Make sure that you have at least 1 year of EMI saved with yourself after completion of your training. That is not right now. So at the end of the training, you should have at least 1 year of the EMI amount in your bank account. After completion of your training, always have an emergency fund of 6 to 7 months of your expenses. All right. It's not a point I should mention. I think this is a point pretty much everyone knows that, but this you should consider while planning for your savings. All right. I hope all these things that we discussed yet make sense to you, and if it does not, if you are quite too young to understand all these things, please do show this video to your parents. I'm definitely sure that these things will make sense to them. Talk to them about this, and please do not force your parents to do your aviation training if they feel that they are not able to fulfill any of this aspect of your financial management. So taking into consideration how much loan you should take and how much savings you can arrange. You must plan your budget for your flight training accordingly and find the best opportunity of flight training, maybe career program, maybe the conventional pathway. You find it after planning your budget. Alright, do not decide upon the training at first and then come into the budget planning. First do your budget planning with all these criteria, then find the best opportunity for you guys. I hope you have made a notes of all of these. Make sure you write your own numbers and do your calculations accordingly. I hope this will help you taking some wise decisions in your flight training and in your aviation career. The reason behind making this video is to make you guys a smart aspiring pilot. Do not jump into the aviation field blindly. You guys are pretty smart to do your financial management yourself. Take into consideration all these factors I've discussed in this video. The second reason and most important one for me to make this video is that I found a lot of videos on this topic. Some people telling if you want to be a commercial pilot, go join defense, use the government's money to become a pilot and come back being an airline pilot. And some people telling the students do not go for cadet programs, rather put that money into fixed deposits, gain some extra interest rates from there, and that is more profitable. These things are bullshit. I talk to a lot of aspiring pilots. I try to build a community with them. Sometimes I find the approach of these aspiring pilots towards this career is being affected by such videos. I know you guys are pretty smart aspiring pilots to do your financial management efficiently. Do not jump into it blindly or watching some random videos. And I hope that this video will help you making some fruitful decisions for your aviation career. And if you guys have got any doubts, feel free to DM me on my Instagram. Also, you can join my Telegram channel. The links are in the description. And lastly, thank you all for watching this video and we'll see you in the next one.